Welcome back. In recent years, Detroit has become a culinary hub with a wide variety of restaurants that draw inspiration from all over the globe. On the city's east side, an award-winning chef is drawing from his own cultural background and putting his own spin on Moroccan food. Joining us now is Chef Omar Anani, the owner of Saffron des Trois, a Moroccan bistro on Detroit's east side, as well as CBS News Detroit's own Jeff Popovich. He is one of our assignment editors here. He's normally just off camera that way a little bit, so you don't typically see him in front of the camera, but he is also a passionate food blogger, so we had to have him be part of this conversation. Chef, I want to start with you. What brought you into this whole world? What got you started as a chef?
Oh man, my love for food and my passion for, everyone's given a gift in life. For some people it's music, for some people it's sports, but for me it was the ability to tell stories with food and my love and passion for being able to communicate with others just through flavors.
Yeah, what is the story you are telling about Moroccan food?
So for me, the restaurant was very specific in that we built it around community and we operate amongst our 5 core values. And so community is the #1 most important thing by far. And how do we introduce North African cuisine to a city that's predominantly black, right? And teach people about where food came from, how it evolved. Everyone in the world has figured out if I fry chicken, it's gonna be delicious, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. So tell me about some of the successes you have had. People have taken notice. You've been nominated for James Beard Awards multiple times. What does it feel like to be recognized in that way?
you know, the awards are absolutely amazing, and it's great to be recognized by our peers and by judges and all these other things. But the beauty of these awards is it really shines a light on the work that we do. And as we talked about before, how broken our industry is and how it needs support and how food insecurity is a big part of this country, right? And so in 2020 during COVID, we were closed. We did over 110,000 meals for people in need.
Wow.
Out of this little restaurant. And so now it's a matter of continuing to grow that. And so we have this community kitchen we're actually trying to raise money for right now. And you can go to launchgood.com/SCK2023. And we want to build a community fridge outside that will allow people to not have to come in and ask for food and give them the privacy to be able to just come and get a meal without having to feel like, oh, I have to go ask for something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Jeff, as a food blogger, someone who's passionate about food and finding new restaurants and talented chefs, what is it like for you when you hear about a restaurant like Saffron des Trois?
It's like Christmas morning. I don't know how else to describe it. I've long loved food. I mean, who doesn't? I've been doing my food blog for just a few months here now. I used to run one out in Phoenix, and there's always something exciting about it, like literally unwrapping a gift. When you discover a new restaurant, a new chef, who, it's not just about always about the food, which I think Chef Omar, even just as he just said, you know, it's about what the chef and the restaurant are trying to do for their community. And to me, that's what really kind of makes these restaurants and their stories more special, because it's the chef telling a story of their life, who they are through their food. How they share that through their community, through their actions, is sort of what really just, I mean, it makes me excited, makes me even more excited to go to that restaurant, to try that food, to see and to feel like I'm a part of their life. I'm hearing a part of who they are and their story.
Absolutely. For those who haven't tried Moroccan food yet, is there one dish or ingredient that's just peak Moroccan food, something you must try?
Honestly, I would say preserved lemons.
Okay.
It is a secret ingredient for chefs in America all throughout, and it's a Moroccan ingredient that a lot of people don't necessarily know, like where their ingredients come from.
Yeah.
Some chefs use anchovies, but in Morocco specifically, preserved lemons are just, they're absolutely amazing.
All right, and what do we have here?
So this is the dessert that we did during the finale of our episode. And so we had Buckeyes, root beer, cherries, and pita chips. And so we created a muhallabiya, which is a North African, Middle Eastern dessert. It's a milk pudding made with the Buckeyes and tahini. We made a gastrique with the root beer and the cherries, and then a pita chip gremolata.
It's like an art, right?
It is. It really is. It's a mix between art and science.
Yeah. When you set out to create a new dish, is it you've been wanting to play with a certain ingredient for a while, or you want to put a spin on a traditional dish and make it your own? What strikes you first?
I learned at a long time ago, I made this dish and nobody ate it, and I was so sad. And the chef came up to me and was like, Omar, no one knows what papaya is, right? You have to serve it in a format that's recognizable.
Sure.
So you take the papaya, you put it in a cheesecake, and all of a sudden everyone's like, what's this papaya stuff?
Yeah.
This is amazing. Like right now you see everything is passion fruit.
Yeah.
Passion fruit,
I've noticed
everything. And it's so good.
Of course.
And it's been around for forever, but we're now just starting to realize that, and it's getting integrated into our palates and into our dishes.
So Jeff, help us out. If you are just an average basic restaurant diner like myself, you're going and you're picking whatever sounds good and you're eating it quickly and moving on. How do you approach a menu? If you were to be sitting down at Chef's restaurant right now, how do you look through that menu and decide what experience you're about to have?
So it's kind of like planning a vacation or an adventure, you know. It's
Right.
you kind of. I like to just go ahead and start with the drinks, and I'll think, okay, do I want to try? You know, is there a different kind of tea or even coffee? I was at a banh mi restaurant on Saturday and tried Vietnamese coffee for the first time. So you got to definitely approach any menu or restaurant for the first time with an open mind. And then it's literally from start to finish, like any meal where you start with your appetizers, you look through and say, do I want to try one? Do I want to try two? Maybe you ask the server, you know, what's the most popular appetizer? What do you recommend? It's always a good place to start, but really it's, I think it really boils down to trying things that you might not normally try or might not be familiar with. So you start there, go from the appetizer, you start looking at the entrees, desserts, and really for me, and I think for a lot of food bloggers, it's trying to find the story behind the dish, because obviously any restaurant can make a mac and cheese and you're like, okay, well, maybe this is really good mac and cheese, but what is it about this mac and cheese that makes it stand out versus other restaurants? Is it a family recipe? Is it something that they've held for over 100 years? You know, what is it that makes it unique? And that's what makes any dining experience a little bit more elevated versus just, you know, going out and getting a quick bite to eat.
Sure. So I was looking at Saffron's menu online, and I know what stood out to me, but if I show up and I say, what does the chef recommend? What does he want us to eat? What would you say?
You know, that's a loaded question. People always ask me, what's your favorite thing to cook? And they forget that hospitality to us is, in Arabic, it's hasan al-dayafa, right? And in what that literally means is giving your good deeds to people to make them feel comfortable. In Greek, it is philos xenia, which is basically friends of strangers. So for me, it's all about giving people what makes them happy. If you love chicken, I want you to have the best chicken dish you've ever had in your entire life. And if you're a fan of pickles, hey, let me make you the best pickles you've ever had. And it's all about feeding other people. That's what hospitality is.
Yeah. In that case, I can't wait to try the catfish sandwich. Sounds delicious.
Let's do it.
Chef Anani, thanks so much for joining us today. This is Chef Omar Anani from Saffron des Trois and our own Jeff Popovich from CBS News Detroit. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.